Good afternoon. Welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Danais.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
So, Coach, here we go. Playoff season for the Knights.
Yes, the best part, best time of the year.
It's exciting.
It is.
And they're all in.
Yeah.
They're all in. So, I've been at Kingswood for the better part of 20 years, and actually more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And I can't remember a time when they were all in the playoffs.
Which is awesome. And I mean, that's a result of COVID, but that's okay. You know, we take the good and the bad with COVID, and the fact that the Kingswood Knights are going to have an opportunity to be in the playoffs and an opportunity to advance. I think that's awesome.
Well, and I'm so happy for these kids to experience playoffs.
Yeah.
Because that is often, unfortunately lately, the teams have finished the regular season and they haven't had a chance to experience it. So the fact that all these teams will get to experience the playoffs.
It's awesome.
Some home games too. The boys soccer team is going to have a home game.
Yep.
Volleyball's
going to be home.
They're going to be home, and so that's probably going to draw out some crowds.
Definitely. I mean, that's right. So not only for the players, but all the Kingswood fans, the students, it's going to be great. We can fully social distance at Alumni Stadium. There's plenty of room. So please, please, please come and support the Knights.
All right. So football's kicking off this Saturday.
Yes.
For a play-in game against Merrimack Valley.
Yeah, we call it a play-in game. Let's just call it a playoff game, because that's what it is. It's a playoff game.
I was always calling it a playoff game, and then all of a sudden you just hit me with play-in game.
Sorry, and it's a play-in game.
So now you're going to just come around and get the playoff
I'm coming
game.
around. NHIAA says
play-in.
But it's a
playoff
game. The Hoss says playoff game.
So it's a playoff game because if you win, you keep playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the definition of a playoff game.
It's a playoff game. And they're traveling to Merrimack Valley. Kickoff is at 12:30, and this is a game that they're going to win. The Knights are going to win. They are evenly matched with Merrimack Valley. Merrimack Valley does have one win, but
Merrimack Valley did not play the schedule that Kingswood played.
No, they didn't. Not at all. Not at all. So I'm feeling good, and I'm looking forward to, on the radio show this week, we'll have Coach Landry call in, and I'm feeling really good about the things that he's going to let us know. I think the Knights will be ready to take the victory.
Well, I think it's also going to be good. I mean, they've gone up against the three best teams, or amongst the best teams in the state.
Absolutely.
At their division.
I mean, the best team in Division II is Plymouth, and they played them, and Kennett's a close second.
And they didn't play Kennett. They actually this.
Yeah,
this
that's
place.
right. Yeah.
But Bow was right up there.
Bow was right up there, and Guilford Belmont, and they're a good team as well.
So it's going to be nice to see the Knights actually be able to run their offense.
Yeah.
And for them to practice this week, and I know Coach is really happy about practice this week because they're going to be able to actually put into play the things that they're doing.
I know.
So,
yep, Jackson's going to have time. Jackson McCullough's going to have time if they need to throw. I know the line's been performing well offensively and defensively for the Knights, so it's going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to it. I am committing. I'm going to the game, and I'm going to invite you. I just invited you on camera, but we could talk later. And I think there's going to be some former coaches are going to be heading out there. So I think there's going to be a good crowd, good representation. I know Mr. House, the athletic director, is planning to go. So I say we bring as much green as we can to Merrimack Valley on Saturday.
Nice. I know I saw on the website that he did put, for those that are going to the game, Merrimack Valley's COVID guidelines.
Yep. So you have to wear masks to get into the field. It's a $3 admission charge.
Social distance if you're not
social
with your family.
distancing if you're not with your family. And it should be fun. I mean, the weather looks nice. Looks like a great day for fall football in New England.
Awesome. The football team did play Plymouth last week, and we can just touch upon it real quick. We knew what that was going to be.
We did.
Plymouth is the best team right now in Division II.
Yeah.
And they're, I would say, in the clubhouse, the leader to win the Division II. They got some competition, but
sure.
I mean, they're there.
Yeah,
and
I think Kennett's, looking to knock them off. Yeah. But right now, I would definitely agree with you. Plymouth is the best team in Division II.
A shout out that we've mentioned Jackson McCullough before, but
Jackson McCullough. I mean,
he certainly represented Kingswood well up there.
Yeah, he did, and I got a chance. I didn't go to the game, but I got a chance to watch it on their TV broadcast. They broadcast live, something that maybe the Wolfeboro Community TV will do in the future. That it was awesome because they spent a lot of time praising Jackson McCullough, which was great to hear. It's nice to hear it from people other than us. I mean, we love him. We know what kind of player he is, but it's great to hear it from other people as well.
I agree.
As far as the game itself, I think this. I know I'm circling back to it, but just come Saturday. come to the game, come to Merrimack Valley. You're going to be impressed. We've seen some Kingswood football this year. You're going to be impressed with the product. It's a well-disciplined, well-coached team. So come and cheer on the Knights.
All right. The golf team went last Thursday to Keene and did not fare as well as we had hoped that they did. They struggled a little bit. Their number one player was out on quarantine.
Sure.
So that certainly affected things. And, tournament jitters.
Yeah.
They finished in 10th place. And, we had talked about the potential for them having enough firepower to win. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do that without your number one, and then the other guys didn't play great.
Yeah.
But, overall, a good season. That was their only time. I mean, they didn't necessarily lose the match, but they won all the matches that they were in this year.
That's true.
So,
and it was, like you said, it was a short season, and they played well. So congratulations to the golf team.
Field hockey is, you're seeing this on Friday. So last night the field hockey played their playoff game.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
So we're filming, as people know, we film on Tuesday. The playoff game is on Wednesday. So
Thursday. Playoff game's Thursday.
Okay, I'm making things up. Yeah, it's on Thursday. Sorry, it's on Thursday of this week.
And they're playing Kennett.
They're playing Kennett, which is great. Rivalry.
Yep.
So hopefully we're going to have an opportunity to continue talking about the field hockey team because they would have beaten Kennett, we hope.
And girls soccer is playing at Kennett next Thursday for their playoff game.
Yep, so that's the 29th of October.
And do they have any games in between here? Or
well, hang on a second. Apparently we just wanted to jump to Thursday the 29th but not talk about Wednesday the 28th.
I'm going by sport.
Oh, I see.
I have a list.
There's a list of sport.
That's this agenda that you never look at.
That's not true. I do look at the agenda.
Don't do anything with the agenda.
So not true.
So I am going by girls soccer because that's next on the agenda. If you wanted to bump it, then you could have bumped it.
I don't want to bump girls soccer. I think it's great. I was just kind of going. I like to follow a calendar. So people are now
I like to follow an agenda.
So people are now saying, okay, on Thursday I'm going up to Kennett, but we're not telling them what they're going to be doing on Wednesday. But let's continue with girls soccer because it's exciting that they were able to pull the draw of Kennett.
Yes.
I love the rivalry piece. I mean, you don't want to. These kids don't want to play any other team but Kennett. So this is awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we had talked a little bit earlier that this regional thing.
Yeah.
I hope there's going to be some things that come out of COVID that are going to change the way we do things.
Right.
We've talked about it in education. I think this is going to change in how the schedules are structured for sports because Kennett's right next door at 45 minutes away.
Right.
Guilford's 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Instead of us traveling to Keene, to play games,
or we can go to
Lebanon,
or we should go to Laconia as well. Just kind of keep it right around
regional.
here. I agree with you.
Have a Lakes Region champion.
Yep.
And then the Lakes Region champion. Now, then they move on to.
Yeah. Then you go. Then you go
state
to
title.
state. Yeah. Play your Winnisquams. Play your Interlakes.
Right.
Yeah. It's a great idea.
So, would you like to do boys soccer?
Is that next on the agenda?
It's next on the agenda, but not next on the calendar.
Okay. Boys soccer played. They played Guilford last week. It was an overtime game. Amazing. They ended up losing 1-0. And then just last night, they played a double overtime game against Prospect Mountain. So our neighbors to the south in Alton. And Prospect Mountain has a great team. Prospect Mountain was coming in 7-0. And last night, the game ended after 100 minutes of soccer. The final score was 2-2, and it was just an all-around awesome game.
I didn't get a chance to go down. Was it evenly matched? I know obviously the score, but we had talked about the was it the Guilford game?
Yeah.
Where Kingswood only was able to get 2 shots, so it was really a defensive struggle. Was that back and forth this game?
Yeah, it was a back and forth game with Prospect Mountain. It was very exciting. Lots of shots by Kingswood, lots of shots by obviously Prospect Mountain. Great goalkeeping by Caleb Russo. Kingswood defense once again, awesome job. And speaking of defense, Carter Morrissey scored a goal, and Keegan scored a goal for the Knights. So it was just an all-around great effort. And I know that Coach Nelson actually put out to parents just how proud he was of the team and all of their hard work. And he's such a good coach. And he said, we got to keep our sights on Kennett. Keep our sights on Kennett. So. They are going to be hosting Kennett, the boys soccer team, on Wednesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. at Alumni Stadium under the lights. That's going to be an awesome game because the Kennett game at Kennett was so physical and so fun to watch, and these two teams are evenly matched.
It's been a long time
it's going to be
since
great.
The boys soccer team's been in the playoffs.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
it's been a long
exciting.
time.
So,
Any close calls like in overtime last night? You know, with like
so there was a real
anybody hit the post or something like
well,
that.
here's something really interesting, and it is what it is, but no real close calls. But check this out: on the last play of double overtime, it was a corner kick. It was kicked in
For Kingswood.
For Kingswood, sorry, it was kicked in, and it was kicked to one of the Kingswood players, who the ball started to roll in. They called the game.
What?
Can you imagine? I was like, if I'm an official, and I'm not, but if I'm an official, I'm going to at least let the play out. But the whistle was blown.
So the ball didn't get kicked out. It was still.
No, the whistle was blown as the corner kick was still coming in.
Stop.
Yeah, no joke.
Stop.
And it would have been an easy goal. So actually, Kingswood ended up putting it into the goal, but it didn't.
Those referees have discretion on that.
It's just like I was like, if I'm a ref, and I think if you're a ref, you'd agree, you would at least let that play.
Was it a local ref?
I don't know.
That has Alton Vase?
I think so.
I know who the ref was.
No, but it's like, I think in a situation like that, and I understand there's a time, but they're keeping time on the field. So
right.
you let that play out.
Do you know why they keep it on the field?
I don't know. I don't.
Because if there's an injury or something like that, they stop their
own
time.
Right. But I do the time for games. So for injuries, I stop the time as well.
No, I understand that, but they're the official time.
They are, yeah.
And so if they feel that they needed to, add 30 seconds on because of that injury, they add 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So a play like that is real. That's the discretion of the umpire.
It is,
there.
Yeah. It was like really.
I want to check the address of.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that. But it's gonna be great. They have a chance, and by the time you guys see the show, they will have played Prospect Mountain again. They're traveling down there on Thursday.
All right.
So,
volleyball.
Yeah.
Is playoffs at Guilford?
No. They're hosting.
They're hosting. That's on Wednesday also.
Yep. So they're hosting Guilford on Wednesday the 28th, and there'll be more information coming from. I talked to Mr. House yesterday about that as far as what the spectator rules are. It's going to be quite different than the outdoor sports.
Okay. I guess that's it for school sports.
Yeah.
Can we think of anything else?
Cross country has a meet.
They're back running again.
Yeah, they're back running again. They have a meet this week, and their meet is actually, so you guys won't have a chance to see it, but it's actually at Abenaki. So they've set up a course out there, and they have a new timing system. And we still need to get Coach Arsenault on the show at some point.
Why are they at Abenaki? Do we know why?
I don't know the real reason, but I know, or not the real reason.
Give me the fake
I know
reason.
the fake reason.
Give me the fake one.
I think the reason is we're hosting the NHIAA field hockey game. So I think there might be some regulations around that. Okay. So,
have you ever walked or run the Abenaki trails?
Okay. First of all, does it look like I run? All right. So
second
thing, I have snowshoed.
Did you walk
no, you said run.
You
said run.
I said run or walk.
You said run. I actually have snowshoed, and we take our kids over. Our kids from Ossipee Central School. Most of those trails, and I love it.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Great
Beautiful
trails
out there.
It's just what a great place for a cross country race.
Yeah, awesome.
So
yeah.
All right. The Patriots.
Okay.
It's time to dissect that abomination of a game on Sunday.
Yeah. So they lost. They obviously lost to the Broncos. 18-12. They had a chance to win.
They had a chance to win. They've had a chance to win every game they've played.
Yeah.
But they haven't. And the Broncos were obviously probably the worst team that they faced this year.
Yeah.
And they just weren't ready to play. They really weren't. It was there was poor play on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
There was poor coaching.
Yeah, I mean, people go back to,
a lot of second guessing going on.
And, James White possibly getting that first down. Bill didn't challenge that. Why are you going for 2 at that point? So there's all the pundits out there.
Not accepting the penalty.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there was a lot of things there, and so I put down in our notes, which you don't look at, did Bill Belichick lose his fastball? Is he starting to deteriorate? It was a bad game. And I'll give you another one. It didn't look like he wanted to be there.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know if you watched the press conference, but it was, it's classic Belichick, but he even more so, like, he was almost like, yeah, whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of
attitude.
I just... It seems like he's drinking the Julian Edelman.
Well,
Kool-Aid. Is
Is
Bill going to Tampa? Sorry.
Oh, I mean, if we want to talk about Edelman for a second, he certainly doesn't want to be there.
No.
and which surprised me because he came out of the gate really strong.
Yeah.
And we saw the game in Seattle, 170 yards, 15 catches, and so on.
Yeah.
And you thought that there was something going on there.
You thought there was chemistry.
But, geez, I don't know, the last 2 weeks.
Well, I get frightened. I mean, Cam's number one target seems to be Bird.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing against you, but you might be able to go out there and catch some passes like Bird.
But it's a little concerned, and I thought also Cam Newton looked terrible.
He did.
His throwing motion was horrible.
Yeah.
There's no
It was so awkward.
There's nothing smooth. How many times did he underthrow guys?
I know.
And so, they haven't practiced, and
the timing was off. But
okay.
I'm done making excuses for that because they're professionals.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cam Newton is a 6'5", 250 pounds because we heard the announcers say it all day long.
Right.
And he's been throwing football all his life.
Mm-hmm.
He can't handle a couple of days off and not be able to throw the football.
Right.
He looked terrible. And we've criticized how he looks throwing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like he couldn't even throw the ball 20 yards.
Is that a COVID impact? Does COVID have anything to do with it? Just throwing that out there.
That's a great question. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
I didn't even think about that. That did it weaken him?
Yeah.
I thought he didn't have any symptoms though.
They can tell you whatever they want, right?
No, I know.
But I mean, I don't know. So I was not impressed, and I think I texted you this. The offensive line,
a lot of injuries.
really struggled. There were injuries, and I get that, but it was just they weren't in sync at all day, and Cam had absolutely zero time. And then the other piece was the defensive line. There needs to be a little bit more of a push. Even when the Patriots blitz, which they don't usually do. Bill doesn't like to blitz a lot. Typically, as you know, when you blitz, there are more defenders going in against offensive players. And for some reason, the offensive line of Denver, which isn't very good, was able to stop the blitz. There was no pass rush whatsoever.
It was bad.
Yeah.
The whole thing was bad. Right across the board, it was bad. And we've seen the Patriots lay eggs once a year.
Yeah.
We see them lay an egg.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't laid an egg yet this year. That was obviously the first one.
Right.
They can't afford to lay any eggs because right now they're in
third
2
and 3.
Miami's
third place,
3-3.
Yeah, third place in the AFC East.
Now, thank God Buffalo's lost a couple.
Yeah, thank goodness. You're right.
And they haven't looked very good either. So,
but
they're within reach.
All the criticizing we do, or about this game, about the Denver game, the Patriots still had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Just looking at the game, it should have been a blowout by Denver, but they still were able to keep them in check. I'm worried, just so you know, this week with San Francisco, Garoppolo had a career game.
He looked good.
He looked really good. The Niners looked really good. Kittle's amazing. Kittle's the new Gronk.
But Mozart's out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is a
so
factor.
that does, yeah.
And they also, their defense is not the same defense that they had last year.
That's right.
So, and they're coming to New England, but I don't know. Based on what we saw last weekend, I think everybody in New England has right to be concerned.
Yeah.
That was not a good showing. And if they lose this week, wow.
Yeah, they'd be 2-4.
Stidham, if they lose this week.
I think we're getting closer to them. Yeah.
Unless Newton can do something to carry the game himself.
Right.
I mean, he's saying
he'd have to run.
Nobody needs to worry. Nobody needs to worry.
Yeah.
Just surprised. I'm surprised that COVID hit New England, the Patriots, like it did.
Right.
I'm surprised. I thought they had a really tight ship and everything was. I thought they could handle not practicing. If something happened.
Yeah. They'd be able to get through it.
And I go back to, has Bill lost his fastball?
Yeah.
Is his? I mean, boy, it'd be sad to see that.
That'd be awful.
I was planning on him for another 5 years.
And the other part was, that adds to, has he lost his fastball? What's up with all the trick plays? I mean, I get that. But
desperation.
I understand that, but I mean, I know they were moderately successful, but come on.
I think they go to those trick plays when they can't block anybody.
Yeah.
I think that's been the pattern over the years. We can't block somebody. We've got to create some separation.
Yeah.
N'Keal Harry, 0 catches, no targets. 1 target at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The last play.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Seriously,
what they have no. I mean, we talked about this from Brady last year didn't have anyone to throw to, and this year we thought Cam Newton was going to have Julian Edelman, and that doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, it's come down to Bird.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're going to double team Bird. You ever think we'd be saying that?
No.
We're double team
Not unless
Bird.
we're talking about the Celtics of the 80s.
So, did we learn anything from the Week 6 games? Did we learn anything? So, I mean, go through.
Yeah, we learned that the Patriots have some work to do, so we figured that out. We learned that the Buffalo Bills are not as great as some people thought they were.
Yep.
We learned that the Niners are still alive and can still play.
Yep.
What else did we learn? We learned
that the Buccaneers are pretty good now.
We learned that the Buccaneers are a pretty good
Tommy
team.
Brady still has it.
Tom still has it, and Gronk actually still has it.
Gronk has a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, which was exciting to see. As you know, I'm still rooting for the Buccaneers and Tom Brady and Gronk. Aaron Rodgers is, he struggled a little, huh?
Well, he did that dance, the McGlinberry dance.
Yeah,
and then the Packers were going to blow Tampa out.
They were going
until that moment in time.
Yeah, once the dance occurred,
he threw 2 picks. One is a pick 6.
Yeah.
And they didn't score another point.
No.
And I mean, I'm not rooting for Brady. I'm not rooting for Buccaneers.
Right.
But boy, was I rooting for them when he did that. I can't stand that stuff.
I agree with you.
That showboating dance stuff. Look at me. I'm staging this. I'm so good. Yeah. I was glad they lost. He's a jerk. He really is. I can say that.
We learned, how about this, that the Cowboys stink. And we also learned that the Cowboys have like 6 more primetime games the rest of the season. The NFL has to flex.
They got to flex.
They got to flex the Cowboys. The Cowboys should only be shown to Tom McCullough.
In my notes, which I know you didn't look at, the NFC East was a topic.
You're really working this one,
I am.
Yeah.
The NFC East.
Yeah.
They're horrible. And so Peter King put out that he predicts that the first round, the wild card game, is going to be a team that's 11-5, traveling to Philadelphia, who's going to be 5-10-1. That's what he said. That is a legitimate possibility.
And Philly will win.
But they're going to be hosting an 11-5 team.
That's crazy.
At 5-10-1.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Philly, New York is on. Well, they were on last night. The
Oh.
Giants are on, and that game matters.
It does. It does.
It really
and
does.
those are games that nobody wants to watch.
No, but that game actually matters. What else did I put down here? The Chiefs can win different ways.
Yeah.
That's what I learned last night watching that game.
The
Chiefs
and I'm glad the Chiefs had won last night, which was good.
Tennessee Titans are for real.
They are.
They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't want to say they're for real, though.
Why? They're 5-0.
I understand that. They're 5-0.
They've beaten some teams.
Yeah. But I think I had said last week, they just beat Cleveland, and I don't think Cleveland is legit.
Okay, but they were 4-1 at the time.
I understand.
So
we'll see. I don't know. It's hard. Maybe. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to stick around.
Is that your heart or your mind?
That's my heart.
That's my heart too. Because between Roethlisberger and Tomlin, I'd be okay with those guys losing the rest of their games.
Yeah, forever.
So, anything else? Seattle's still 5-0.
Yeah.
So they're quietly 5-0 at this point.
Yeah.
So there's still 3 5-0 teams out there.
Yeah. So I think I think the storyline for me is that you've said it already. The Buccaneers are a good team. They're decent.
Their defense look pretty good.
Yeah. So I think they've got a good shot to go pretty deep in the playoffs.
So many weapons. If you compare them to the Patriots right now, I mean, you have trouble blaming Tom Brady about why he went somewhere else. They have 3 legit receivers.
Yeah.
They have 2 legit tight ends, and they have 2 legit running backs.
Right.
Oh yeah, and they have a quarterback.
Yeah, pretty good quarterback too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'd say the Patriots have legit running backs. I think their running backs are good.
Yeah. Harris and James White.
And they have. I'm still gonna say Edelman's a legit receiver.
He is, but
that's it.
Just not having a good season.
But that's it.
Yeah.
That is the end of their stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about if their quarterback's a quarterback or is he a running
Stephon
back.
Gilmore can be legit.
I'm on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went defense on you.
You did.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots defense is still legit.
Yeah.
Even though
I still worry. Don't you worry a little bit about the defensive backs? And maybe that's just me. And here's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to correct myself. I'm not worried about the defensive backs. The problem why the defensive backs are getting exposed is because we have no pass rush.
Yes.
We got nothing going on up front.
We have no linebackers.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to scheme this up for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
The balls that were completed for Denver were perfectly thrown balls.
They were. Yeah.
They were absolutely perfectly thrown. So I'm not going to worry about the defensive backs yet. We saw what they did against Kansas City.
Right.
They can play. The running game.
I agree with that.
I mean, the running game is going to be a factor. All right, let's do our power rankings.
Okay. Yeah, they are. I love the what is that called? Help me out.
Graphics?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm at a loss here. I love the graphics.
It was in the notes.
It was in the notes, yeah. This is great. I'm going to start bringing my own notes.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
After 2 years. There
Yeah.
you go.
All right. Here we go.
Number one, I'm gonna take the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, who are they?
Is the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. I'm going to say the best team in the league right now are the Seattle Seahawks.
The second best team in the league right now is the Seattle Seahawks.
The second best team in the league right now are the Tennessee Titans.
The third best team in the league is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I have to say it, I guess. The third best team in the league
I think after 5 games,
are the Pittsburgh Steelers.
we did not put Kansas City up there.
No, because they're
But
not.
I
I think
think
Kansas
after-
City might be fourth.
I think Kansas City lost to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is a good team. They're not a great team. We didn't put Baltimore up there.
Right.
Baltimore lost to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty legit, too.
Right.
We didn't put the Packers up there after their recent loss.
No.
We didn't put Tampa up there, who's 4-2.
They're
now?
4-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy is 4-2. This is great.
I hope the season lasts because there's some good storylines coming out of this.
Yeah, there are.
And there's some good matchups that are potential big games coming up. So I just have a feeling that the Patriots aren't going to be playing in any of those big games.
I mean, unless they figure it out, and they got to start 1 week at a time, and they got to do something with the Niners this week.
Normally, I would be optimistic that they were going to fill it out. I just didn't like the body language that was coming out of the top guys.
Yeah.
Specifically Belichick. I didn't like that. Do you think Edelman is going to get traded? Do you think trade deadline's next week? I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could trade him. I mean, you could. I don't mean like that, but I don't think the Patriots would do that.
I just don't think they're going to get. I think if somebody offered a fourth, I think they would trade him.
Yeah.
I just don't see anybody offering a fourth. And the only team that he would go to is Tampa.
Right.
And Tampa has the Edelman. They got that Scotty Miller guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't need another receiver.
You're right, but they have Tom Brady, and I think if whatever Tom wants, Tom gets.
True.
And now that they're winning,
I mean, that could upset the apple cart down there. If the ball just starts going to Edelman and Gronk all the time, and Evans and those other guys aren't getting the ball,
right?
That could throw things off.
It could.
It could be.
Yeah. But I think the Patriots are going to keep Edelman.
Okay. Is this his last year?
With the Patriots.
It is.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
He's already limping.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really.
I mean, that's.
hard to
a
watch.
slot receiver. That's not a job that you can do for a long time.
And he's been so good.
And
he's been so valuable to their success over the last 7 years.
I mean, you think of it. I mean, we used to have Wes Welker.
Troy Brown.
Yeah, I mean those guys just so good, but their lifespan is
But in the span of the Patriots dynasty, so we'll call it 20 years, they've had 3 slot receivers. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Amendola played a little, but not, he doesn't hit the level of those other 3.
No, and Edelman was still here.
Yeah.
When they were there.
Yeah.
So.
But it's true.
Been very fortunate. It's a big part of their offense. And you don't have Edelman in there, in that part of their offense, it takes away a little bit.
I mean, is Gunner the new?
Maybe.
Is Gunner the new?
Possibly.
Edelman.
Possibly.
Maybe.
They're gonna need one.
Yep.
All right. On the radio, I fixed baseball last week.
You did. The Danais plan.
We have a few minutes left, so I think we should share fix the baseball. Now, you said we're going to continue it this week on the radio.
Yeah, we're going to definitely continue this week.
You have some other thoughts on that? Or do you want me to share the plan and we'll go with that?
So I want you to share the plan. The thoughts, just when you guys tune in on the radio on Friday, I have some of my own thoughts, but we also have some some of our listeners that have some thoughts to share, that I wanted to share their thoughts as well as how to fix baseball.
Okay.
I think just going on record, as Mr. Danais here presents his plan, I agree with a lot of his plan, not all of it.
Okay. All right. So
please present.
Well, I did not write it down, so
it's not written down on the notes.
No, it's not.
What a surprise!
I'm going off the top of my head,
okay.
So if I forget one,
I can help you.
If I forget one, please remind me.
Yes.
I believe that there should be a mercy rule after 7 innings in Major League Baseball.
Okay, so similar to what younger baseball players, younger kids have. So mercy rule.
I think when there's a 10-run difference in the 7th inning, that it is exhausting, and a lot of these things are about speeding up baseball.
Sure.
And so, get families home, get them out of there in the 7th inning if the game's lopsided.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Am I allowed to ask questions?
I think so.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So, I worry about that in a sense because the way baseball is set up right now, and maybe your plan is going to fix this. If the game ends in the 7th inning, I don't get to play the 8th and 9th inning. And what if I'm trying to go for the batting title, the home run title? What if am I trying to improve myself so that I can get a multi-year contract somewhere to get more money? You're taking away my at bats, or you're even taking away my fielding opportunities to win a Gold Glove.
I got 2 thoughts on that.
Yeah.
One, if you are up by 10 runs, you already had plenty of at bats in that game.
All right.
If you're down by 10 runs, you don't deserve to be getting worried about your home run title.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll
I
talk more about that on the radio.
I just hit that one out of the park.
I don't know if you hit it out of the park.
I did.
No, because just because we're down by 10 runs doesn't mean I can't. If my team's down by 10, doesn't mean I can't come up and hit a home run.
Who cares?
I do because I want my payday.
But this game is not about your individual stats. This game is about the team.
I disagree with that. It's not about the team right now, and you know that. You're going to try to fix.
It's not about the team?
You're going to try to fix baseball. I know it's about the team. I mean, that we like to present to the fans, but as an individual, you don't think these baseball players think individually about their statistics?
Which is a part of the problem with baseball.
Okay, so that's part of the problem that you're going to need to fix.
That's part of my plan does.
Can we go to the best part of your plan?
We're going
to talk about the strikeouts. I love this.
All right. If you strike out 3 times in a game, you're Dunsky. You're out of the game.
That's it. And the umpire, and I said it on the radio, the umpire has to actually toss you.
3rd strikeout.
That's it.
Done.
Strike 3.
You're gone. You go sit on the bench.
I think that's amazing.
You get to put somebody else into the game.
Yeah.
You have to get to sub him in.
Yeah.
And but
you should take one extreme. You should have to put on like a different colored jersey.
That's okay. But
really humiliating.
You are now, and I said this on the radio too.
Yeah.
Parents of Cal Ripken kids, this is not going to happen in Cal Ripken.
This is Major League Baseball.
If your child strikes out 3 times in a game, he's not going to be booted.
Not at all.
But in the Major Leagues, 3 times, Dunsky.
That's
you were
great.
Done. Pitch clock.
Yeah, that's and they've used that a little bit in baseball.
Hard salary cap.
Yeah. So maybe hard salary cap is going to help with the money thing, the fact that I can only make X amount of dollars.
I wouldn't even mind if the baseball adopted something similar to what basketball has, is that you're allowed a certain amount of max players, and then a certain amount of this many players, and a certain amount of this many players. Yeah. What else did I put in
Here's the other great one. The minor league system.
Relegation league.
The relegation league.
If you're familiar with European soccer, you know that if you finish in last place, you get booted to the league below, in our case, the minor leagues. Yeah. And so if the Red Sox finish in last place, then they would have to play a minor league season to get back up into the majors.
And the top 2 minor league teams would be moving up to the major leagues.
So you might end up playing the Pawtucket Red Sox.
Right.
At Fenway Park.
You could,
they could. And I know that's a little bit radical, but there's too much tanking for draft picks. There's too much tanking, not spending money and wanting to save money. That would end it. If you knew you were going to be, in Kenosha, you might, think about twice about losing some games.
So true. And then you went with 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yep. So right now, 4 balls is a walk, 3 strikes is a strikeout. I would change it to 2 and 2. 2 balls is a walk, 2 strikes is a strikeout. The strike zone would be bigger. It would run from your shoulders down to your mid shins.
Yeah.
And it would be wider too. It would at least be the black part of home plate.
Sure. And then how about the last thing to talk about? And if you want to hear more about this and talk about this, call into WASR on Friday. But the one thing that a little bit controversial is your 9th inning plan.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm here.
So in the 9th inning, you're at the park,
Yeah.
and Mike Trout just hit in the 8th inning, and he struck out. And
Yeah.
It's a tie ball game. My plan. Mike Trout gets to come up again in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
You get to reset your lineup in the 9th inning.
You get to pick reset your batting
Any
order.
way you want. Any way you want. So you could have, I don't even know. So let's say it was back with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
You could have Manny, Ortiz, and Mookie come up.
Can have
They were all
whatever,
playing.
sure.
Whatever you want. Everything's
Yeah.
just just anything goes.
Okay.
An absolute free for all in the 9th inning.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Could bring fans in. And
I
then
think everybody would tune into the 9th inning.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, they would. Everyone would watch it.
Yeah,
and we'll talk. And you had a little talk about universal ticket prices, but let's leave it at that because we want people to call in. We'd love to hear their opinions. They can call into the radio show on Friday.
Okay. I think that's going to be it for us because we are probably a little over on our time.
Okay.
Anything else? We got playoffs happening with Kingswood?
Playoffs for the Knights. And please come out and cheer on the Knights. The kids would love your support.
And we're going to be there. So
yeah, it's gonna
hopefully
be great.
We'll see you there too. Go Knights.
Go Knights. Oh, last thing, Jonathan, bring it back. Timeout. Can we?
You
No.
can't. No, you got to
Dang
do it. Oh, it's coming in.
You're going to have to do some editing, Jonathan. Before we go, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Skelly's Market.
We forgot all the sponsors the whole time.
Oh my gosh, we're filming, Michael.
Oh, we forgot that. Oh my
okay.
God. We should do it twice.
All right, okay. So we'll have to.
Skelly's
hang on.
Market.
Can we start again? Here we go, Jonathan. Before we go, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Skelly's Market,
Downtown Grill and Cafe,
and Morrissey's Porch and Pub.
I think we should thank him again since we missed him at the beginning.
Go Knights. All right.
Go Knights.
Can you splice us in twice for that?
Just run it. Just run it.
Yeah.